Hello everyone. Good afternoon to all. Okay, so guys, I'm launching the technical poll. Let me know in the let respond in the polls option whether my voice is clear to all of you or not, or my screen is visible clearly or not. Yeah, poll has been already launched. Please respond in the chat box. Sorry, in the polls. Respond to the polls, all of you, whether my voice is clear to all of you or not, or my screen is visible clearly or not. Yes. It's time to start your class. Okay, so I'm ending the poll. I hope everything is good. We should start our class. I've ended the poll. Okay, so what we are going to discuss in this class actually, that is important. Nothing else. We'll just revise all the concepts, all the questions what we have done in the previous week, in the last week, right? So we'll revise all the concepts of inequality and with some questions also we'll discuss. And then I think now we have left with some concept of functions. So we'll try to complete those concepts also in this class. So it's a fully revised class, revision class. Okay. So which will be helpful for your exam, right? So tomorrow you have exam, right? So that's why I'm going to discuss all the concept or all the questions with some questions in this class. So let's start. Okay. So already all of you know what is inequality. We have discussed it this in the sorry. Okay. है ना? So what is inequality? है ना? So inequality हम क्यों यूज करते हैं? क्योंकि actually to compare two mathematical expressions, whether which one is less than which one is greater than, है ना? All these things. Or comparison between two variables, you can say comparison between two numbers also you can say, है ना? And also comparison between two expressions also you can, mathematical expressions, है ना? And the symbols are these: greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, and all of you know all these things. All you are familiar with all these symbols also. So let's move. Definition क्या था ना? Two real numbers or two algebraic expressions related by symbol less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to function inequality. Okay. So examples are here. So let's move. These are very basic things. Already we have discussed all these things very thoroughly. Let's move. What is next? Algebraic solution of inequality, linear inequalities in one variable. So how can we solve algebraic inequality? Just a minute. You two guys, you can respond in the chat box also. Yeah. So how can you solve the linear inequality in one variable algebraically? Let's see. Suppose ये example already हम देख चुके हैं, that is 30x minus 200 is less than 0. That means we can write it as 30x less than 200, right? So where x belongs to whole number, it is given. Okay. So what are the solutions of this inequality when x belongs to w? We have discussed already this thing. Am I clear? Am I correct? Okay. So that means, so for which values of x, for which whole numbers of x, right? So this inequality will be true. That is the required solution. So we need to find those x for which my inequality will be satisfied. For x is equal to 0, it is satisfying. For x is equal to 1, it is satisfying. For x is equal to 2, it is satisfying. 3, 4, 5, 6. So from 0 to 6, it is satisfying. But when we are taking x is 7, this becomes 210. So 210 is not less than 200. That's why 7 is not a solution of the given inequality. But what are the solutions of the given inequality? That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and we can represent it in the curly bracket. Is it clear? So let's move. Now we saw some rules of inequality. First one is addition property. What is that? If you have an inequality that is x is less than y, x is less than y. So if I'll ask you to add a number, or if I'll ask you add some quantity to both sides of this inequality, so then the inequality will not be changed. So what is the sign you have given in the inequality, that will not change if you are adding some number or adding some quantity to the both sides. Same quantity, if you are adding the same quantity to the both sides of the inequality, then the sign of the inequality will not be changed. Same thing will also happen with the subtraction. If you are subtracting same objects or same quantity from both sides of the inequality, then the sign of the inequality will not be changed also. But in case of multiplication, what is happening? In case of multiplication, if you have x is less than y, right, and if you are multiplying a positive number z both sides of this inequality, then the sign will not be changed. If you are multiplying a negative number to the both sides of this inequality, then the sign of the inequality will be reversed, right? Kya hoga? Now if you have less than in the original given inequality, then it will be greater than when you are multiplying a negative number to the both sides of the inequality, right? You can see also here very clearly, when we are taking z as greater than 0 or z positive z, so what is happening in that case? Sign of the inequality is not changing, right? But when we are taking z is less than 0, the sign less than becomes greater than. You can see here. The same case also, same things also will be happening with the division property also. Division property में क्या होता है? If you are dividing a positive quantity to both sides of the inequality, then the sign will not be changed. If you are dividing a negative quantity, then the sign will be reversed. So these are some rules we have seen in the last class, right? So let's move to the next slide. What is happening with my pen? Just yeah, sure. So these are the rules, already we have discussed. Let's move. How can you graphically solve linear inequality with one variable? Graphically, how can we solve it? Let's see. Okay. So interval graphical representation of solution sets, that is of some interval. So open interval of x and y. How can we represent by this way? Where in open interval the endpoints are excluded, but in case of when we are taking two numbers, only two elements in between the curly bracket, then that means only two elements are present in that solution set, right? That means here in this way graphically we can represent to the curly bracket of x and y. Okay. Third solution में क्या है? Closed interval of x, y. So in this case the endpoints are included, but in case of open interval they are excluded, but in case of closed interval they are included. And graphical representation is. So in case of also, if you are taking semi open or semi closed interval, that means the bracket, matlab open bracket given with one element, one endpoint, and other endpoints will be given with the closed bracket. So those intervals are called semi open or semi closed interval, we can say. So with which element you have open bracket, that element is actually not included, and for which closed interval is given, that endpoint is included, right? Clear everyone? Sure, let's move. Linear inequalities in one variable. So suppose we are taking an inequality x is greater than 2. That means the solution is actually in interval. How can we represent? That is x belongs to 2 to infinity. Okay, and graphically also we can represent this in this way. So all these things already you know. Suppose we are taking the last thing, x is less than 1 and x is greater than equal to -3. So x is less than 1 के लिए ये जो है green वाला line, x is less than 1, that is -infinity to 1, green वाला region. Okay, but when x is greater than equal to 3, x is greater than equal to -3, that is my red region. है ना, that is my red region, है ना. So what is the intersecting line or intersecting region you are getting? That is actually my solution, that is -3 to 1. So in yellow color we will represent it, -1 to 1 is your solution set. ओवरलैपिंग, जो भी लाइन ओवरलैपिंग होगा ना, कहीं पे भी तुम्हें ओवरलैपिंग लाइन मिल गया ना, इंटरसेक्शन पोर्शन हो गया, दैट इज द सॉल्यूशन. ओके, ठीक है, लेट्स मूव. हियर वी हैव सॉल्व वन क्वेश्चन, लेट्स यू कैन सी, है ना. सपोज वी आर टेकिंग ए क्वेश्चन x/2 इज ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू दिस x, है ना. सो ट्राई टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. कैसे करेंगे ना, टेक द एलसीएम इन द राइट हैंड साइड व्हाट यू हैव, है ना. आफ्टर टेकिंग एलसीएम you are getting finally x/2 greater than equal to 4x minus 1 upon 15. So if we'll multiply 15, if we'll multiply 15 to both sides of this inequality, then what will happen? So left hand side becomes 15x and right hand side becomes 2 into, अच्छा 2 भी multiply करना पड़ेगा ना. If we'll multiply 30 to both sides of the inequality, then what will happen? Left hand side will become 15x and right hand side will become 2 into 4x minus 1, that is 8x minus 2, है ना. So 15x minus 8x is equal to क्या हो गया, greater than equal to, ये सिंपली हो गया मेरा 7x is greater than equal to minus 2, है ना. So x, if will divide 7 on both sides, है ना, so what will happen? X is greater than equal to minus 2 upon 7 you are getting. So what is the solution? Is on -2/7 to infinity. I hope this is clear, guys. All of you respond, please. Is it clear? Already we have discussed this question in the last class also, है ना. This is clear ना. Sure, let's move. So another question we have seen in the last class also. This is the question, and you can take a screenshot of this question also, है ना. So this is the way how can we represent, how can we solve linear inequality by graphically or algebraically. First we are solving it by algebraically, then we are representing it as graphically also. ठीक है. Sure. This is another question. We have solved all these questions. Okay. Let's move. Okay. So this is important. Graphical solution of linear inequality in two variables. है ना? How can you solve a linear inequality with two variables graphically? Let's see. First, you know these things, na? When you are drawing a vertical line by making parallel to y-axis on x-axis, then this portion is called right half plane and this portion is called left half plane, है ना. And if a non-vertical line divides the plane into lower or upper half planes, okay, if a non-vertical planes intersecting the plane, then this portion will be called upper half plane and this portion will come called lower half of the plane. Okay, you know these things we discussed, है ना. चलो. So what are the rules? What are the steps? How can you solve? है ना. So convert the inequality. Suppose you have an inequality x plus by is greater than equal to c, right? So first of all, what you have to do, convert this inequality into equality. Let's see. Convert this inequality into equality and draw the line. Draw the equation. Draw the line. है ना. So this is the line. This represents to a straight line or not? So draw the line. Draw the graph of the line, है ना. Then take a point AB not on the line, है ना. That AB point must be not on the line, है ना. So take a point, any point AB, है ना. So generally for convenience we are taking the element 0 0, that is the origin, simply, है ना. ठीक है. 0 0, if you are taking 0 0 and check whether it is satisfying the inequality or not. If 0 0 is satisfying your inequality, it is satisfied the inequality, then set the region which contains the point in the solution region. If it is satisfying, then you have to set the region where the origin is present. Okay, origin is present. Okay. So if it is not satisfying, if after putting the point 0 0 in your inequality, it is not satisfying, the inequality is not satisfying, then what reason you will be represent to your solution? Opposite to the origin, है ना. Other half of the origin or other half of the plane, opposite to the origin. ठीक है, the plane contains origin, the plane opposite to the plane contains the origin, है ना. If the origin is not satisfying your inequality, then the plane opposite the plane which contains origin will be your solution. Is it clear? So let's see and solve question. अगर हम एक क्वेश्चन को डिस्कस करेंगे ना, हमको अच्छे से समझ में आ जाएगा. ओके, दिस इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट. ये क्या है ना, इनइक्वालिटी. सपोज यू हैव इनइक्वालिटी लाइक दिस, है ना, मेक इट इनटू इक्वालिटी. एंड इफ ऑल द पॉइंट्स इंक्लूडेड ऑन द लाइन, then x plus by is equal to c. Draw a dark line in the solution region. अगर ये सारे पॉइंट्स लाइन के ऊपर जितने सारे पॉइंट्स है वो मेरे इनइक्वालिटी को क्या सेटिस्फाई कर रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स यू हैव टू ड्रॉ ए डार्क लाइन. क्लियर है ना. इफ द पॉइंट्स आर नॉट इंक्लूडेड, इफ द पॉइंट्स आर नॉट इंक्लूडेड, ड्रॉ द ब्रोकन डॉटेड लाइन इन द सॉल्यूशन रीजन. ठीक है, चलो. That means simply if you have less than or equal to or greater than equal to, you have to draw a dark line, and if you are strictly less than or strictly greater than, you have to draw a dotted line, right? Chalo, theek. So let's see an example. Suppose you have an inequality 2x plus y is greater than equal to 6. So graphically how can you represent? So first मैं बोला था तुम लोगों को, yeah, my voice is not clear. I hope this is clear. Yes, let me check an example. Suppose you have an inequality. No, it's clear. I can listen by YouTube also. In my mobile, like I'm able to. Yes. Chalo. So graphically, how can we solve this inequality? है ना. First of all, the rule, first step, what is the rule? ना, what you have the inequality, you have to make into equality. That is, you have to make this inequality or change this inequality into equality. That is 2x plus y is equal to 6. And make the table to draw the graph for this line. है ना. Take x, or the values of x as 0, 3, and you are getting y as 6, 0. So here you are getting 2 points, 0, 6 and 3, 0. So plot these 2 points on the plane. So these are my 2 points, है ना. And draw the line. I am drawing the line. Then what is the next step? Now satisfy the point 0, 0 to the inequality, whether it is satisfying or not. है ना. Put x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0 in the given inequality. When we are putting x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, we are getting 2 into 0 plus 0, that is 0. 0 is greater than equal to 6, which is not true. है ना. 0 is greater than equal to 6, which is not true. That means the origin, the point origin 0, 0 is not satisfying my inequality, given inequality. That means the solution region कौन सा हो जाएगा? What is the solution region? मैं बोला था ना तुम लोगों को, if it is not satisfying, then you have to take as your solution region the plane opposite to the plane which contains the origin. That means this is the, देखो green area में मैं बता रहा हूँ, this is the region, this is the plane which contains my origin. That means opposite वाला मेरा solution हो जाएगा. Is it clear or not? So opposite plane will be my solution. Yes or not? है ना. तो origin को opposite में, है ना. The plane which contains origin, है ना, opposite of this plane which contains origin will be your solution, required solution region. That is here. ये हो गया मेरा सॉल्यूशन रीजन. ठीक है. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू गाइस. क्लियर ना. चलो लेट्स मूव, है ना. दिस इज अनदर एग्जांपल, यू कैन सॉल्व इट बाय योर ओन आल्सो, है ना. कैसे कर सकते हो? मेक इट इनटू इक्वालिटी फर्स्ट, है ना, एंड ड्रॉ द टेबल, ड्रॉ द लाइन आल्सो. मेक द टेबल and draw the line. Why we are taking here dotted lines? Because we have less than here. We have strictly less than here. That's why we are drawing a dotted line, right? Okay. And put the point origin. Origin को satisfy कराओ. क्या मिल रहा है तुम्हें? 0 is less than 30. After satisfying the point 0, 0, or after putting the point 0, 0 in the given inequality, we are getting 0 is less than 30, which is true. It is true, right? That means origin व्हाट इज द सॉल्यूशन रीजन क्या हो जाएगा ना, द प्लेन कंटेंट्स ओरिजिन, द प्लेन कंटेंट्स ओरिजिन, दैट मीन्स अभी क्या हो जाएगा, ओरिजिन जिस साइड में होगा वो साइड मेरा क्या हो जाएगा, सॉल्यूशन रीजन हो जाएगा, है ना, क्लियर। चलो लेट्स मूव, या नाउ विल सी ग्राफिकल सॉल्यूशन ऑफ सिस्टम ऑफ लीनियर इक्वेशन, है ना। सिस्टम ऑफ लीनियर इक्वेशन को हम कैसे स्टडी करेंगे ना, सपोज हियर यू हैव थ्री इनइक्वालिटी, वन तो क्या होगा 3x plus 2y is less than equal to 12. Second one is x is greater than equal to 1. And third one is y is greater than equal to 2. So there are three inequality you have given. Okay. So first of all, what should you do? We have to make this inequality into equality. Okay. So first of all, change the first one. 3x plus 2y is equal to 12. है ना? Make the table and draw the line. This is my line. है ना? This is my, suppose this is my line 1, है ना, and then because we have less than equal to, then we have to draw a dark line. Okay, then come to the second. अच्छा, इसको पहले तो वन बाय वन कर लेते हैं, ठीक है ना। So if we'll put the point origin in this inequality, what is happening, 0 is less than equal to 12 we are getting, which is true. That means the plane contents origin will be your solution. The plane contents origin will be your solution. This ये हो गया, ये यहां से यहां तक पूरा हो गया, पूरा ठीक है। जिस साइड में तुम्हारा ओरिजिन है वो वाला साइड तुम्हारा क्या हो गया, सॉल्यूशन रीजन हो गया। सिमिलरली इफ विल पुट द सेकंड थिंग, हियर यू हैव x इज ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 1, सो इफ विल मेक इनटू इक्वालिटी तो क्या हो जाएगा, x इज इक्वल टू 1, सो यू कैन ड्रॉ द लाइन, सिंपली यू कैन ड्रॉ द लाइन x इज इक्वल टू 1, so this is the line x is equal to 1, the vertical line passing through the point x is equal to 1, right? This is the line x is equal to 1, and if we will put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, what you are getting, 0 is greater than equal to 1, so which is not true, false. That means in which side origin is present, so opposite of that side will be your solution, है ना। so right half plane will be your required solution, right half plane, ठीक है। then you have another inequality also, that is y is greater than equal to 2, so if you will make it into equality, y is equal to 2 हो जाएगा, ठीक है ना। तो y इज इक्वल टू का लाइन तो हमें पता है ना क्या हो जाएगा, ये हो गया मेरा y इज इक्वल टू का लाइन ग्राफ। एंड ऑल्सो हियर आफ्टर पुटिंग द पॉइंट वी आर गेटिंग द फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट, है ना, वी आर गेटिंग द फॉल्स रीजन, दैट मीन्स द प्लेन कंटेंट्स द प्लेन ऑपोजिट टू द प्लेन व्हिच कंटेंट्स द ओरिजिन विल बी योर सॉल्यूशन, दैट मीन्स ये वाला रीजन हो गया मेरा, ठीक है। सो इन तीनों लाइन्स का द इंटरसेक्टिंग रीजन ऑफ these three lines, that is the yellow shaded region, yellow shaded region is your required solution. जो भी तुम्हारा ना इंटरसेक्टिंग रीजन मिलेगा इन तीनों लाइंस का, that will be represent to your solution, required solution region. I hope this is clear to all of you guys. Yes, clear? Please respond in the chat box if it is clear. We have less time. Okay, so you can solve these questions, you can take a screenshot also. This is the solution. Take a screenshot of this slide. कर सकते हो तुम आराम से, है ना। This is all about your linear inequality with two variables and graphical solutions and algebraical solution. What is the important things we have discussed in the last class? Wavy curve method, है ना। किस किस को याद है? How many of you remember the steps of wavy curve method? The steps of wavy curve methods I have discussed with you all in the last in this week only, last week only, ठीक है। So what are the points? Now first make sure the right hand side is 0, है ना। If it is not 0, make it 0 first. If it is not 0, make it 0, and the coefficient of x in all the factors is positive, है ना। If it is in the factorized form, then it is okay. If it is not in the factorized form, if in the numerator and denominator you have quadratic expression, then factorize it and make sure all the coefficient of x in each factor must be positive, right? And the right hand side of the inequality must be 0, ठीक है। So first step में हम क्या करेंगे ना, put all the factors is equal to 0 and mark the corresponding values of x on real lines. That means you have to find all the critical points by taking each factor is equal to 0, right? And the last step, put positive on the extreme right of the right and start moving towards the left, है ना। If you encounter an odd power factor, then change the sign. If you encounter an even power factor, then continue with the same. Right? So let's discuss a question. Here we can discuss. Okay. So for this question, what we are doing, and it is already in the factorized form. And in the numerator, we have the factors as x minus 3, x minus 4 to the power 2, and also in the denominator we have x minus 5 to the power 3. Right? So what should you do? First, make all the factors and check whether all the coefficient of x in each factor are positive or not. Yes, they are positive. So make all the factors is equal to 0. X minus 3 is equal to 0. X minus 4 is equal to 0. X minus 5 is equal to 0. So from here I am getting x is equal to 3. From here I am getting x is equal to 4. Here I am getting x is equal to 5. Right? So these three are my critical points. Okay? And plot all these points in the number line by ascending order. Right? 3, 4, 5. Clear? ठीक है ना? ये इसको मत देखो सब, मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ ना उसको देखो. ठीक है? And what is the next step? Put the positive sign to the extreme right of the number line. है ना? तो ये मेरा extreme line है. This is my extreme line, right, extreme right. So here I am giving positive sign. Then come to the point 5. है ना? So what is the corresponding factor of 5? Here we have x minus corresponding factor. कौन हो जाएगा? x minus 5 raised to 3. है ना? So in x minus 5 raised to 3, what is the power? Power is 3, and power is 3. It is the odd power or even power? It is an odd power. If you have odd power, what should you do? You have to change the sign after the point. You have to change the sign. So that's why I am changing positive into negative. Right? Similarly, after this point 5, what is the point you have? 4. So 4, the corresponding factor of 4 is x minus 4 raised to 2. X minus 4 raised to 2. That is, here you have an even factor power, even power factor. You have an even power factor with the point 4. Right? So if you are getting even power, then the sign will not be changed. That means here we'll give the negative sign. Okay? Chalo, after this point we have, what is the point we have? 3. So 3 का corresponding factor कौन है भाई? X minus 3. And what is the power of x minus 3? You have 1. 1 is an odd number. That means it is an odd factor or odd power factor. That means you have to change the sign. That means this will be your positive. So, okay. And also another things we have to see, on which points my inequality becomes 0, because we have greater than equal to 0. We need the positive reason, and also where the inequality becomes 0, the left hand side becomes 0. Those points also we have to include. That means at x is equal to 3, this left hand side becomes 0. Okay, this left hand side becomes 0. That means here I am giving solid dot. Okay, and at x is equal to 4 also, left hand side becomes 0. That means here also I have to give a dot. But in case of x is equal to 5, it is not, it is the left hand side becomes undefined, indefined. देखो, at x is equal to 5, something upon 0 is not defined. Something upon 0 is not defined. So at x is equal to 5, my denominator of the left hand side becomes 0. If denominator becomes 0, then left hand side will not be defined. Clear? That's why I am giving here a hollow circle. And we need the positive reason. So what is your positive reason? Just take another color. This is my positive reason, and this is my positive. Okay? So what is the solution? You are getting x belongs to minus infinity to 3, where 3 is included, because at 3 left hand side becomes 0, and also we have equality sign with the inequality. Okay? Union 5 to infinity. 5 is excluded because at x is equal to 5, my left hand side becomes undefined. Okay? So 5 to infinity. This is your required solution. Is why we are calling it as wavy curve method, because if you will draw a wavy curve, है ना, देखो, start the curve from here, change when you are getting, change the side of the curve, change the side of the curve when you are getting odd power factor, when you are getting odd power factor, and if you are getting even power factor, then continue with the same sign to the next point. Then if you are getting another odd power factor, then you have to move. So solution region मेरा बेटा क्या हो गया? This is my solution region. So this is my positive region and these are my positive. So that's why we are calling this method as my wavy curve method. It looks like a wavy curve. ठीक है? It's a very good method and you can solve many questions by using this method also, and it is actually very useful, है ना? चलो, so this is all about your wavy curve method. Let's move. Here some important inequalities is given, and also directly you can remember all the solution of all this inequality, है ना? You can take a screenshot of this, right? Sure, let's move. Concept test, you can do it, है ना, आराम से. Here you have the solution, है ना? Inequality क्या है ना? x minus 1 into x minus 2 into 1 minus 2x greater than 0. First make all the coefficient of x as positive, because we have here in the third factor, last factor, and we have minus 2 as the coefficient of x. So before solving the inequality, you should make it positive by multiplying minus 1 in both sides of the given inequality. So when you will multiply a negative sign on the both sides, the sign will be changed also, है ना? So this is your inequality, final inequality, and use here the wavy curve method. You will get the solution is. चलो ठीक है. Next, take a screenshot of this, and this is your solution. Same principle use करो और इसको भी solve कर सकते हो, है ना? चलो, now we'll see. अच्छा, मॉडुलस फंक्शन. मॉडुलस फंक्शन तो मैं बताया था तुम लोगों को. इसका ग्राफ, the graph of mod x is y is equal to mod x, and it is defined when if x is greater than equal to 0, it gives you positive x, and when x is less than 0, it gives you minus x, negative of x. Okay, ठीक है ना? चलो, let's move. Some properties already we have discussed. Mod of a is greater than equal to 0 always. Mod of a is equal to mod of minus a is also. Individually you can write this and ठीक है? Okay, so absolute value inequalities involving less than or less than, ठीक है? So we have discussed these things very seriously in the previously, right? Mod x is less than 5. That means x is lying between minus 5 to 5. Okay, ठीक है? And the graphical representation for this inequalities. Okay, remember mod of x is less than a. That means x is lying between minus a to a. Clear? चलो, next is mod of x is greater than 5. है ना? Suppose that means mod of x is greater than a. That means क्या हो जाएगा ना? X is less than minus a and x is greater than greater than a. This is your solution. X is less than a minus a and x is greater than a, and where a is not included, because here you are having only greater than and less than strictly. ठीक है? This is the graphical representation also. Okay, so modulus inequality क्या होता है? ये है ना? When you have like this inequality, mod x is lying between a and b, and when a and b are included, then the solution will be minus b to minus a closed interval union closed interval of a to b, है ना? This is an example. ठीक है? Okay, these are some questions, है ना? Suppose we will solve this question, है ना? Mod x minus 20 is greater than minus 13. So r positive 20 to both sides of the inequality, you are getting mod x is greater than 7. Mod x is greater than 7. It's very simple. So आराम से मैं बोल सकता हूँ x must be lying between minus 7 to 7, है ना? x must be lying between minus 7 to 7. Is it? No, wrong. Q. Now when we have greater than with the absolute value inequality, so it will be x is less than -7 and x is greater than 7, and this is a graphical. Okay, and how can we represent it in the intervals? X belongs to -infinity to -7 union 7 to infinity. ओके, इंटरवल को यूज करके हम सॉल्यूशन को ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. ठीक है, चलो, these are some important inequality also and also equality, है ना. You can check all these things. चलो, एग्जाम्पल ये भी हम लोग लास्ट क्लास में डिस्कस किए थे, आराम से तुम कर सकते हो बाय यूजिंग द प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ मॉडुलस इनइक्वालिटी और एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू इनइक्वालिटी. ठीक है, ओके, लॉगरिथमिक इनइक्वालिटी we have already discussed two cases, है ना. One is a greater than 1, another one is a is lying between 0 and 1, है ना. A is lying between 0 and 1. So when a is greater than 1, what is happening? If you have x1 is less than x2, then if you will take log on both sides to the base a and a is greater than 1, then the sign of the inequality will not be same. Okay, and when a is greater than 1, the graph of the logarithm function will be increasing and it cuts x-axis at the point 1, 0. ठीक है, ओके, चलो, है ना. Remember, when x1 is less than x2 and the base of the logarithmic is greater than 1, if you are taking log on both sides, then the sign will not be same. Okay, in other case, what is happening? If the base is lying between 0 and 1, okay, suppose we can take an example. Suppose a is 0.5 and you have x1 is less than x2. Okay, so if I will ask you log of x1 to the base 0.5 and log of x2 to the base 0.5. So what is the inequality sign will you give in between these two logarithmic functions or expressions? What is the inequality you will give? Yes, greater than. The sign of the inequality will change to greater than. Less than becomes greater than. Why? Now, because a is lying between 0 to 1. And in case of when the base is lying between 0 to 1, then the sign of the logarithmic, the sign of the inequality will be same. Yeah. Okay. So what are the procedure to solve the logarithmic inequality? Now, first of all, you have to solve the inequality and then find the domain. है ना? So this is my step 1. Step 1 में क्या करो ना, solve the inequality, and in step 2 find the domain and take the intersection of the step 1 and step 2. So that will represent to your solution. Okay, let's take an example here. I've solved these questions in the last class also, है ना. So first step 1 में हम क्या करेंगे? Step 1, let's solve the example. Let's solve the inequality. We have log of x to the base 3 is less than 4, and we know the standard rule of logarithmic is if a raised to b is equal to c, then log of c to the base a is equal to b होता है. And in other way also we can say if log of c to the base a is equal to b, we can say also a raised to b is equal to. ठीक है ना, ऐसे भी हम बोल सकते हैं. So we have, don't bother about the inequality because we have the base as 3. So 3 is greater than 1. 3 is greater than 1. Then the inequality will not be same. Okay. So use this rule here. Use this rule here. So what will happen? Now 3 raised to 4. 3 raised to 4 will be क्या हो जाएगा? बोलो. 3 raised to 4 will be less than x or greater than x. 3 raised to 4 is greater than x or less than x हो जाएगा. बोलो मुझे. Let me know in the chat box. In other way also we can see na. In the other way we can see if 3 raised to 4 is less than x, then we can say also log of x to the base 3 is less than 4. है ना? That means 12 is less than x. Sorry, 12 नहीं, 81. 81 is less than x. That means मेरा solution set क्या हो जाएगा ना? X belongs to minus infinity to 81. Is it? है ना? Oh, x is greater than ना? Sorry. बताओ 81 से बड़ा है ना, 81 टू इंफिनिटी है ना, दिस इज। एंड डोमेन क्या हो जाएगा, व्हाट इज द डोमेन? डोमेन विल बी, I already told you, always the argument must be greater than 0, that is x is greater than 0, that is actually x belongs to 0 to infinity। तो इन दोनों का सॉल्यूशन क्या हो जाएगा, इन दोनों का इंटरसेक्शन स्टेप 1 एंड स्टेप 2 का, स्टेप व्हाट इज द इंटरसेक्शन ऑफ स्टेप 1 एंड स्टेप 2? one is 81 and another 0 है ना, so 0 to infinity and 81 to infinity, both are excluded, ठीक है। So what is the solution reason? 81 to infinity is the intersecting reason you are getting 81 to infinity, so x belongs to हो जाएगा मेरा 81 to infinity, ठीक है। This is your solution। I hope this is clear to all of you guys, okay? Okay, you can solve this question also like the same, like this, you can use the last procedure and you can solve the first step 1 में solve the inequality, and step 2 में क्या करो, find the domain, ठीक है। and solution क्या हो जाएगा मेरा, solution will be step 1 intersection step 2, clear? चलो let's move। Okay, this is another example here also, you can take log of 5x minus 1 to the base 1 by 3 is greater than 0 है ना, log of 5x minus 1 to the base 1 by 3 is less than greater than 0, that means here we have the base are 1 by 3, that is 1 by 3 is lying between 0 and 1 है ना, so then the sign of the inequality will be changed, right? Greater than दिया है ना, sign of inequality will be changed, right? So 5 of 5x minus 1 is less than, greater than becomes less than 1 by 3 to the power 0, ये क्या हो जाएगा, 1 हो जाएगा ना, ये हो जाएगा 1 to the power 3, 1 by 3 to the power 0 है ना। So this will, by solving this I am getting x is less than 2, oh we did some silly mistake here also यार, in this example we did a mistake, right? क्या है एक्चुअली, ये जो इनइक्वालिटी है ऐसे नहीं होगा रे, गलत हो गया, कैसे होगा, दिस विल बी x is less than 3 raised to 4, that is x is less than 81 हो जाएगा, and x belongs to minus infinity to 81, I'm sorry है ना, and here we are getting my domain as x belongs to 0 to infinity है ना, okay, 0 to infinity and minus, suppose this is my 81, this is my 0 and this is my minus infinity, this is my infinity, so 80 minus infinity to 81, this reason, and 0 to infinity, sorry actually 0 to infinity, that is 0 to infinity here. So what is the solution reason you are getting? This 0 to 81, the solution reason will be 0 to 81, I'm sorry, solution result will be 0 to 81, so x belongs to 0 to 81, this is your solution reason है ना। Always remember, when you are solving, when we are converting the logarithmic inequality into exponential, that will become x will be stay in the left hand side and 3 will go to the right hand side as the base of the argument of the logarithm है ना, ये राइट हैंड साइड में जो भी होगा उसका बेस हो जाएगा, एंड राइट साइड विल बी योर पावर ऑफ द बेस, राइट, ठीक है। ओके, देखो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, ओके, सो हियर द बेस इज लाइंग बिटवीन 0 and 1, then the sign of the inequality will change, greater than becomes less than, so 5x minus 1 less than this, so by solving this we are getting x is less than 2 by 5, that is minus infinity to 2 by 5, डोमेन क्या हो जाएगा ना, 5x minus 1 is greater than 0, that means argument of logarithm must be greater than 0, that is in argument we have 5x minus 1, so 5x minus 1 greater than 0, and by solving this we are getting x is greater than 1 by 5, so here we are getting 1 by 5 to infinity, 1 is 1 by 5 to infinity, and another one is minus infinity to 2 by 5. So what is the solution reason I am getting? Now this is the overlapping or intersecting region, and this is the red shaded region is my solution. That is open interval 1/5 to 2/5. Okay, chalo. We'll discuss now when the base is given as variable. When the base is given as variable, so in that case, what you will do now? First, what you have to do in this, you have to take first case one. Either the base is greater than 1, okay, or case 2 for x greater than 1, you have to solve this inequality, and for case 2, you have to take or base is lying between 0 and 1. For x lying between 0 and 1, you have to solve the inequality again and find domain. 3 cases, है ना? Find domain, है ना? After finding domain, suppose this is my solution of C1, you are getting here, and this is my solution of C2, case 2, and this is my solution or domain. ठीक है? तो मेरा जो required answer क्या हो जाएगा ना? Required answer will be, required answer becomes solution of C1 union solution of C2 intersection domain. ठीक है? This will be your answer. ये तुम्हारा आंसर हो जाएगा. When the base is given as variable, है ना, x. Like this example you can take here. You can see we have the question as log of 2x minus 3/4 to the base x is greater than 2. So first I am taking x is lying between 0 and 1, one case. Second case, x is greater than 1. Okay, so I'm solving the given inequality for when x is lying between 0 and 1, and then I'm solving x is greater than 1, right? So by solving this inequality for this case, first case I'm getting x belongs to 0 to half. Second case में मुझे क्या मिला ना, x belongs to 1/2 to 3/2, and domain what I'm getting, domain we are getting here, domain मुझे मिला x belongs to 3/8 to infinity, है ना? So by taking union of these two, है ना, that is 0 to half union 1/2 to 3/2, है ना? First C1 ये हो गया, this is my C2, okay. After taking union of these two cases, take the intersection with the domain set, that is 3/8 to infinity, है ना? So graphically you can take it. This is your solution, that is 3/8 to 1/2 and 1/2 to 3/2. ठीक है, ये हो गया solution. ठीक है. So when you are having the variable base as variable, then first you have to take the first case as either x is lying between 0 and 1, and second case will be solve the inequality for the x when x is greater than 1, and then find the domain. Then solution will be क्या हो जाएगा ना, C1 union C2, case 1 solution of case 1 union solution of case 2 intersection domain. Okay, that is your required. Let's move. Okay, we have few less minutes. So modulus function we have already discussed. This is the graph of modulus function, and it is defined as when x is greater than or equal to 0, it gives you x, positive x, and when x is less than 0, it gives you negative x. And domain of this function is R, and range of this function is 0 to infinity. Okay. Next is Signum function. As like as modulus functions, we can define also Signum function, and Signum function is defined as when x is greater than 0, it gives you 1. When x is equal to 0, it gives you 0, and when x is less than 0, it gives you negative 1. And the graph of Signum function is this. This is your graph, right? You can draw it, or you can check these things in your NCERT book also. These things are available in your NCERT book, and we don't have many times to much time to discuss all these things very deeply. Okay, so domain of this function is R, and range क्या हो जाएगा ना, -1, 0, 1. -1, 0, 1. These are my range outputs. Okay, Signum function हो गया. One more interesting function, that is greatest integer function, है ना? जो domain होगा greatest integer function, that is R, and the range is set of all integers is my range. And example क्या होगा ना, greatest integer of any point. Suppose here we are taking ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर ऑफ 5.32. सो 5.32 का क्या हो जाएगा ना 5, है ना. द इंटीजर व्हिच इज nearest to the given number, and that must be less than the given number, है ना. What is the thing? The integer nearest to the given number, and that must be smaller than the given number, right? Suppose I am taking minus 5.32. Okay, so which is the integer less than minus 5.32, and that must be less than also, है ना. So minus 6, minus 5 का क्या हो जाएगा 5, minus 5 का क्या हो जाएगा 5. So this is all about your greatest integer function, and the graph of greatest integer function is, so when x lying between minus 3 to minus 2, है ना, so it will be minus 3. ठीक है, graph you can draw, okay, by your own. Okay guys, greatest integer function को और थोड़ा भी अच्छे से हम पढ़ सकते थे. Okay, you can try it in your rooms also by from your NCERT book also. So draw the graph very carefully and try to understand the graph also. ठीक है guys? Okay, greatest integer function तो हो गया मेरा. Remember these are the property, है ना. And fractional part function. What is fractional part function? And it is defined as fractional part of x is equal to x minus greatest integer of x. Okay, x minus greatest integer of x, and इसका डोमेन जो होता है, डोमेन इज R always, and range is 0 to 1. देखो, the graph goes from 0 to 1 in y-x. Graph goes from 0 to 1 in y-x. Sorry guys, actually we don't have time. नहीं तो मैं अच्छे से बता देता. Okay, we'll suppose in next class we will get some time. We can discuss all these things very clearly. Okay, देखो, the graph goes from 0 to 1, and 0 is not included always. 1 is not included, because at point 1 we are giving here halogen. ठीक है, so the range is 0 to 1, 0 is included and 1 is excluded, and ये मेरा graph हो गया. ठीक है, and fractional part of x is defined as x minus greatest integer of x. Suppose if I will ask you 5.32 का fractional part बताओ मुझे, तो क्या हो जाएगा ना, x minus 5.32 minus greatest integer of 5.32. तो ये क्या हो जाएगा ना, 5.32 minus greatest integer of 5.32 is 5, है ना. So 5.32 minus 5 is 0.32. So this is your answer. Fractional part of 5.32 is 0.32. Okay, this is the actually responsibility of my fractional part function, and these are some examples you can check, है ना. X minus greatest integer of x, x minus, this is my x, this is my greatest integer of x, and this, okay, this is my x here, and this is my greatest integer of x, and x here is minus 5.2. Okay guys, okay, next, thank you all. That's all about your today's class. We have revised all the concept of inequality again, and we have मतलब अच्छे से नहीं मैं बोल सकता हूँ, आराम मतलब थोड़ा मतलब फंक्शन, डोमेन, रेंज एंड इसका जो वर्किंग रूल होता है सम स्पेशल फंक्शन का हम लोग इस क्लास में डिस्कस किए. एंड आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू ऑल ऑफ यू go to your room and try all these graphs by your own, by taking the help from your NCERT book also. Okay, okay guys, thanks to all, thanks for your patience, thanks for your time. We'll meet in the next class, that is on Monday. Till when, bye bye, take care all of you guys. And in Monday we are going to start another new topic, and we'll be trying to complete that topic in the next week also. Likewise, and in Saturday we'll discuss or we'll summarize or we'll revise the topic. Okay guys, so take care, bye bye, thank you all. Chalo.